The sun's barely cracked the horizon over Elmwood Estates. That cookie-cutter slice of suburbia where every lawn's mowed to perfection and dreams go to nap. Jack Harlan, a battle-scarred vet who'd traded foxholes for flower beds, sips his black coffee on the porch, the steam curling up like ghosts from Numb. And then, bam, here comes Brenda Voss, the self-crowned queen of the HOA, marching across his yard like she owns the damn dirt. Those ugly soldier statues? Gone by noon. Or you're fined into oblivion. She spits, her voice slicing through the morning mist sharper than shrapnel. Jack's heart? It drops like a dud grenade. How dare she? These weren't decorations, they were his brothers. Frozen in bronze. Saluting the sacrifices she'd never sweat a drop for. You feel that gut punch yet? Jack freezes. Mug halfway to his lips. The bitter coffee turning sour on his tongue. A sigh escapes him. Heavy as the humid air clinging to his skin. Carrying the faint whiff of fresh-cut grass mixed with the oily tang of regret. Brenda, he rumbles. Voice gravelly from years of barking orders in the jungle. These boys stayed behind so folks like you could play neighborhood cop. You really gonna erase him? Her laugh? It's a brittle cackle. Echoing off the identical ranch houses like breaking glass. Rules are rules. Harlan, this isn't some war memorial, it's an eyesore. And eyesores? They clash with my vision of perfection. Clash? The woman's pearls are practically choking her as she puffs up, eyes narrowing to slits. Jack's mind races back, flash of muzzle fire in the dark. The acrid smoke burning his nostrils. Buddy's laughs cut short by the pop-pop of enemy rounds. Whoosh. He blinks it away. But the tremor in his hands? Rattling the mug like distant thunder. Brenda doesn't see it. Of course. She's too busy scrolling her phone. Firing off texts to the HOA busybodies. Meeting at 7 p.m. sharp, she announces to no one. Heels clicking like tiny gunshots on the driveway. Jack watches her go. That sway in her step screaming entitlement. And mutters under his breath. What kind of world is this? Where a hero's tribute gets the boot. Neighbors peek from curtains. Tom Riley, the quiet accountant next door, offers a sympathetic nod through his window. While Lisa Grant across the street, she's already whispering into her phone. You won't believe the drama brewing at Harlan's. Jack slumps into his Adirondack chair, the wood creaking like old bones, and lets out another sigh. Deeper this time, the kind that hollows your chest. The statues stare back, Sergeant Ellis with his bayonet raised, Private Ruiz mid-stride. Forever young. Touching one. Jack traces the cold metal, feeling the chill seep into his calluses. Memories flood in, the metallic tang of blood in the air, the endless drip-drip of monsoon rain on his helmet. Hang on, fellas, he whispers. I got you. By lunch. The storm's brewing hotter than a Saigon sun. Brenda's back with her posse, Harold Klein, the spineless board treasurer, fidgeting with his tie, and a couple of her Botox brigade, clipboards at the ready. They cluster on Jack's lawn like vultures on a wire, the scent of their floral perfumes cloying against the earthy petrichor of an approaching shower. Eviction notice if you don't comply. Brenda barks, slapping a laminated sheet against his chest. Jack snatches it, crumpling the edges, his face flushing crimson. Eviction? For honoring the dead? Wait, you ever lose a friend to a tripwire? Ever hear the silence after the blast? His voice cracks, damn it. Why now? And Brenda recoils. But only for a beat. Drama doesn't change bylaws. Harlan. Remove them, or we will. We will? The audacity hits like a sucker punch. Jack's fists clench, knuckles whitening, the pulse in his temples thumping like chopper blades. What if he just... He waves them off, storming inside, the screen door slamming with a whap that echoes his fury. That night, As crickets chirp their lazy symphony under a blanket of stars, Jack can't sleep. The bed creaks under his tossing, sheets tangled like barbed wire. He paces the kitchen, fluorescent light buzzing overhead, pouring another coffee that goes cold untouched. Enough, he growls to the empty room, the word hanging heavy. A twist hits him then, not revenge, but reclamation. His old army buddy, runs a surplus yard out in the sticks. They'd swapped stories over beers last month, Mike boasting about that relic from Desert Storm gathering dust. Jack grabs his keys, the jingle sharp in the quiet, and peels out in his battered Ford, tires crunching gravel like bones under boots. Dawn's breaking by the time he hauls it back, not some toy. A real M60 Patton tank, 50 tons of rusted steel and righteous fury, towed on a flatbed that groans in protest. Word spreads faster than wildfire. By 9 a.m., Elmwood's buzzing, tires screeching into driveways, phones lighting up with texts. Jack parks that beast smack in the center of his lawn, treads gouging divots deep as grudges, the turret swiveling with a metallic groan that rattles windows for blocks. The statues? They flank it now. Tiny sentinels beside a colossus. Welcome home, boys, Jack murmurs, patting the hull, the vibration humming through his palm like a heartbeat. Neighbors swarm, Tom's out first, jaw slack, then Lisa, filming live with a gasp, oh my God. Is that? Even Harold stumbles over, glasses fogging. Harlan, this violates everything. But Brenda? She erupts like a fault line. Tires squeal as her SUV barrels up, horn blaring a frantic whoa. She bursts out, face twisted in horror, pearls swinging like a noose. What in the hell is this monstrosity? You'll be sued, arrested, bankrupt. Her voice shrills over the growing crowd, but Jack just leans against the tank, arms crossed, a ghost of a smile cracking his weathered face. Monstrosity? Brenda. This here's freedom on tracks. You wanted eyesores? Feast your eyes. The air thickens with murmurs, not outrage, but awe. Kid on a bike whispers, cool. An old lady clutches her cross, murmuring prayers of thanks. And then, twist of the knife, Mike Donovan rolls up in his truck, honking triumphantly. Turns out, he'd posted the tow on social media overnight. HOA versus hero. Views? Exploding. Comments? Pouring in from vets nationwide. Stand tall. Brother. Screw the Karens. Brenda's unraveling now. Pacing the ruined grass. Mud splattering her pristine pumps with wet slaps. This isn't over. I'll call the cops, the mayor, the press. But the crowd's shifting. Phones out. A sea of lenses capturing her meltdown. Tom steps forward, voice steady for once. Brenda, maybe it's time to rethink those rules. Jack fought for this yard, literally. Lisa chimes in. Yeah. And honestly, the tank's kinda patriotic. Gasps ripple, Brenda whirls. Betrayal etching lines deeper than her wrinkles. All of you? Traitors. Her scream cracks, echoing hollow. The first raindrops pattering like applause on the tank's armor. Hours blur into chaos. Cops show, but not to arrest. They salute Jack. One even climbing aboard for a photo. The metal clanging under his boots. News vans screech in. Reporters thrusting mics. Sir, what's the story? Jack simple, just defending my home. Like I did overseas. Brenda's cornered now. Her clipboard limp. Rain streaking her makeup into clownish rivers. A final blow lands. Her own husband, silent Phil Voss, pulls up late. Face thunderous. Brenda, enough. You bullied a hero for curb appeal? We're done. He tosses her keys into the mud, splat, and drives off. Taillights fading like her empire. As dusk falls, The rain easing to a misty hush. Jack sits on his porch again, tank looming like a faithful hound. The crowd thins, but cheers linger, handshakes, backslaps. A six-pack pressed into his hands. Brenda slinks away, defeated, her vision shattered under treads. Jack raises a can to the statues, the sky, to the fight worth winning. And in that moment, under the sodium glow of streetlights flickering like fireflies, Elmwood breathes freer. You see, rules bend when respect stands firm. Honor your heroes before the tanks roll in reminding you why. In a world quick to erase the past, one vet's defiance whispers, fight on. Your ground's worth it.